Good morning, followers. I remain my humble self, Mr. Abe Anayo Emmanuel, and this morning I want to talk about five most important criteria for business investments because severally I have come across some posts. People ask, I have such amount of money, and what is a business I can actually venture into? Not only that, previously I made a video. I talk about most of the qualities, most of the daily routine that guarantee success both in business and in any profession at all. And this morning I decided, okay, that let me do this particular video. And what is it about? It's about five most important criteria for business investment. So if you have money, or you probably want to have money and you're thinking about the business to invest into, here are the most important criteria you have to consider before venturing into any particular business. Now, what is business? Business is defined as buying and selling of goods and services. The business defined as buying and selling of goods and services. I mean that any reasonable business must have products or must have particular services that they provide to the society or that they render to the society. Are we following at all? So number one thing to consider is products or services. You see, any business that have no product or services is tend to short-live. A business without products or services is tend to short-live. So any business you venture into, they must have a product or they must have a service they provide. If not, your investment is at risk. Any investment in a business that have no product or services is risky. That is it. So you must have that at the back of your mind. That if you are venturing into business and they have no product or services, your investment is at risk. That is as simple as ABC. That is number one thing you must have at the back of your mind. Business without investment, it tends to short-live. Number one. Number two is timing and value. Timing and value. Now, this has to do with looking at the environment. If this product is it what people really want at this moment, imagine. Maybe you want to sell car. You are into automobile business. You are selling car and you are buying Mercedes 190, that olden days version of Mercedes Benz. Of course, it is known that it is true that if you are selling such business, such maybe model of car at this moment, you will find it difficult to get customer. All right, so you have to look at what we really need now. All right, in terms of technology industry, like all these mobile industry where people are selling phone, they know what I'm talking about. There are some kind of phone you will sample now that nobody will ask how much you sell it. No matter how good it is. What am I trying to say? When you are venturing into business, you have to look at, is it actually what people want at this moment? Because we're in a fast-growing world. You have to look at the value of the goods and the timing. Very, very important. Is it what people really want in this period of time? If you are selling outdated products in an updated world, there's a high tendency that you will find it difficult to get customers who will patronize you. That is number two. Timing and value. Value is a degree of importance placed on something. Of course, your goods might have values, but when the timing is outdated, it is also difficult that you must find that for people to buy it. So you have to look at the timing. Very, very important. Timing, talk about the dispensation, the period at which you are selling those things. If the product is something that actually reigned and passed, there's high tendency that you will find people difficult to get people that can buy it, in this present time. So you have to look at, the values and the timing in which you are selling that product. Number 3 is the durability. The durability talk about, is it this particular product what people will need at a particular long period of time? And that's why when people are doing business, they look at things that people need. People things that people need on daily basis, not the one that will come and go. So you have to look at, is it really what people need at a long period of time? For example, you are entering into restaurant business. You know that food is what people need. The value of food is infinite. It has no end. As long as human being lives, food will still be relevant. It's not still, it's a must that food will be relevant, because human cannot exist without food. And that is it. So you have to look into that. So food is very, very important. And that's why I'm talking about durability. Is it really what people need, for a long period of time? Are you following my point at all? So you have to look at the time. And when it has to do with joining a company, you have to look at, or partner with a company, you have to look at, the lifespan, how long this company has been existing, will tell you how much future they have. And not only that, you have to look at the vision and the mission of the company. If the mission of the company is just, just for a short period of time, there's a tendency that any business you deal with such a company will just be for a short period of time. So you have to look at the durability, the lifespan. I then look at the future of the company. I'll look at the future of the business. What does this business have to offer in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years ahead of you? That will now tell you the reason or the necessity of you, joining into a particular business or venturing into such a business. Are you following my point at all? And the next one is impact. Impact. Unfortunately, we have a lot of financially poor people in our society. I always tell people, money does not make man rich. It is what you know about money that makes you rich. And what about what you know about money is the impact level. Are you there now? You see, today we have Dangote, for example. Dangote is not Dangote because of the money he has. It's because of the impact he has made in society. The impact, no problem, not because of the money or people that have helped, but because of the value he has in oneself. Men of impact, impact is not measured by how much a man have accumulated. It's about the value you have as a person. Are you following my point at all? Now, you can't compare the impact of Dangote now to the impact of Mark Zuckerberg, right? That's two different things entirely. Are you there now? The impact, has to do with the ability for you to develop yourself. And that's why the best business model you can venture into is the one that can enable you to become the best version of your own self. The best company to be part of is the one that creates a system for partners training, for partner development or partners orientation, whereby you can be trained to become the best version of your own self. Now, today we have people like the CEO of Coscharis, that's Cosmos Madaka. Now, you look at, he's not a graduate. In fact, he didn't even go attend secondary school. But today he's a shareholder to many multi-billion-dollar companies, right? He's an ambassador to major reasonable companies like all these, Rolls-Royce, Infinity, and all of those big companies. You see that he has a shareholder. He's a big man. Like, if you see him speaking, you will see that he has some level of knowledge inside of him. Not because he went to school, but because most of the company he partnered with creates a platform for partners development, for partners training. So when you talk about venturing into a business, the business you venture into should create a platform for personal development. Money does not make man rich. It is what you know about money that makes you rich. And personal development is one of the major criteria for business investment. A business platform that can help you to become a better version of your own self is considered to be the best business to venture into. Are you following at all? So number one is what? is impasse. I mean, number one thing to consider is the product and services. Number two is the timing and the value. All right. Then number three is durability, the time. All right. Then number four, talk about impact or personal / partnership development. And number five is profitability. Imagine venturing into business without profit. In fact, the sole aim of venturing into business is to make profit. All right. Profit, or say profit is better than wages. And certificates without sales is bankruptcy. Now, the sole aim of every business is to make profit. And therefore, any business you are venturing into without profit does not really worth it. So before you venture into business, you have to sit down. What are the costs of these goods or the services? Now, what are the profits that comes after the business transaction or after the services provided? So you have to look into it very, very well. That's why, do you know that for those of us that are into electronics business, those people who are into electronics, they can do the wiring, they can do all the services, they make much profit more than what that sells those electronic stuff. You look into it very well. You ask questions. You understand what I'm talking about. Those that do the wiring, those that do the electronics installation activities in homes and houses, they make much profit than those that sell those electronics items. Now imagine if you are selling those items and you are also doing the installation activities, you make your profit to be one higher. All right. So business without profit is just a waste of time. So you have to look into the profit, look into the business. Look at the profit margin, look at the profit aspect of the business. If the business is not, the profitability of the business is not really worthwhile, then you consider it a bad one. But if there's a profit, all right, you look at, no matter the risk, no matter the time, no matter the investment, as long as there's a high profitability of the business, then it's considered a very good business to venture into. And as you do this, I wish you best of luck. Thank you so much, and kindly share and like my videos. God bless you, and thank you for watching. Bye for now.